name is Jamie Lashon from grade 12 GAS 1. And in this video, you're about to gain knowledge and learn about the structures of distribution channels, its functions, and the nature of supply chain management. So without further ado, let's get into the topic. So for our first topic, it's all about distribution channel. So what is a distribution channel? A distribution channel refers to the network or pathway through which a product or service moves from the producer to the end consumer. It involves the various intermediaries such as wholesalers, retailers, distributors, and agents who facilitate the movements of goods or services in the market. The primary goal of a distribution channel is to ensure that products or services reach the right customers at the right time and in the right place.
So the first is agents and brokers. Agents are sales representatives of manufacturers and wholesalers, and brokers are entities that bring buyer and sellers together. Both agents and brokers are usually hired on commission by either a buyer or a seller. Agents and brokers are go-betweens whose job is to make deals. They do not own, take a position of goods.
Industrial distributors. Industrial distributors are independent wholesalers that buy related products line from many manufacturers and sell them to industrial users. They often have a sales force to call on purchasing agents, make deliveries, extend credit, and provide information. Industrial distributors are used in such as industries as aircraft manufacture, mining, and petroleum.
Wholesalers. Wholesalers are firms that sell finished goods to retailers, manufacturers, and institutions, such as schools and hospitals. Historically, their function has been to buy from manufacturers and sell to retailers.
Retailers. Retailers are firms that sell goods to consumers and to industrial users of their own consumption.
Channels is the flow of goods. Channels make distribution easier in several ways. The first is by sorting, which consists of the following. Sorting out, breaking many different items into separate stocks that are similar. Eggs, for instance, are sorted by grade and size. Another example would be different lines of women's dresses, designers, moderate, and economy lines.
Accumulating, bringing similar stocks together into a larger quantity. 12 large grade A eggs could be placed in some cartons and 12 medium grade B eggs in other cartons. Another example would be to merge several lines of women's dresses from different designers together.
Allocating, breaking similar products into smaller and smaller lots. Allocating at the wholesale level is called breaking bulks. For instance, a truck carload of milk should be broken down into gallons jugs. The process of allocating generally is done when the goods are dispersed by region and has ownership of the goods changes.
Channel members also store merchandise so that goods are available when consumers want to buy them. The high-cost retail space often means many goods are stored by the wholesaler or manufacturer.
Distribution channels are the series of marketing entities through which goods and services pass on their way from producer to end user. Distribution system focuses on the physical transfer of goods and services under illegal ownership. At each stage of the distribution process, channels are reduced to the number of the transaction and aids the flow of goods.
So first, let us do a quick or short quiz for you to familiarize the topic. At least 5 items. And note, the answer of this short quiz is provided after all the question was given. So number 1. The goal of channels of distribution is to move products from producers to blank. A. Intermediaries. B. Industrial users. C. Final consumers. D. Middlemen. Again, the goal of channels of distribution is to move products from producers to blank. A. Intermediaries. B. Industrial users. C. Final consumers. D. Middlemen. Number 2. Channels of distribution benefit consumers by blank. A. Making a variety of products available to them. B. Lowering the prices of all consumers' products. C. Raising the quality of all consumers' products. D. Increasing profit for business. Again, channels of distribution benefit consumers by blank. A. Making a variety of products available to them. B. Lowering the prices of all consumers' products. C. Rising quality of all consumers' products. D. Increasing profit for business. So number 3, channels of distribution benefit businesses by blank. A. Lowering the prices of all industrial goods. B. Getting their products to consumers more efficiently. C. Raising their profit each year. D. Allowing them to avoid all channel tasks. Again, channels of distribution benefit businesses by blank. A. Lowering the prices of all industrial goods. B. Getting their products to consumer more efficiently. C. Raising their profit each year. D. Allowing them to avoid all channel tasks. So number 4, providing marketing information is an important channel activity. Businesses rely on marketing information to determine blank. A. How intermediaries are performing. B. How much to charge for their products. C. What to name their products. D. Their target market needs and wants. Again, providing marketing information is an important channel activity. Businesses rely on marketing information to determine blank. A. How intermediaries are performing. B. How much to charge for their products. C. What to name their products. D. Their target market's needs and wants. So the last number 5. The cost of promoting products are often blank. A. Avoidable in certain channels. B. Very inexpensive, especially for new products. C. Paid for entirely by one channel's member. D. Shared by channel members. Again, the cost of promoting products are often blank. A. Avoidable in certain channels. B. Very inexpensive, especially for new products. C. Paid for entirely by one channel member. D. Shared by channel members.
So we will now check the 5-item quiz. Number 1, letter C. And for number 2, we have letter A. For number 3, we have letter B. Number 4 is letter D. And lastly, number 5 is letter D also.
So, there are 7 key components of supply chain management. It includes planning, sourcing, manufacturing, logistics, distribution, collaboration, and communication, and lastly is the performance measurement. So, the first key component of supply chain management is planning. Planning, it involves forecasting demand, developing production plans, setting inventory levels, and determining the optimal allocation of resources to meet customer requirements. And the second one is sourcing. It involves selecting and developing relationships with the supplier. The third one is manufacturing. This encompasses the conversion of raw materials into finished products. And the fourth one is logistics. It includes the coordination of transportation, warehousing, and inventory management activities. The fifth is distribution. It involves the management of distribution network, including selecting distribution channel, order processing and fulfillment, and ensuring timely delivery to the customers. The second to the last is the collaboration and communication. Effective supply chain management requires strong collaboration and communication among stakeholders of supply chain. This includes sharing information, coordinating activities, and resolving issues to achieve common goals. And last but not the least is the performance measurement. It involves monitoring and evaluating KPIs or the key performance indicators to assess the efficiency and effectiveness of the supply chain.